Plus, students, do you remember playing on your Game Boy? Do you think that you have a revolutionary item in your hands? Well, let me tell you a story beyond your knowledge. The story of Gunpei Yokoi, father of the Game Boy. The Game Boy is a rather boxy device with 7 different consoles in its line and is the predecessor to the DS. Now, Nintendo employee Gunpei Yokoi changed the gaming world by giving us the Game Boy, a handheld video game console with changeable games and a long battery life. Gunpei Yokoi was first hired at Nintendo to maintain convenience, but he wanted Nintendo to be more than just a mere playing card company. So he thought about giving Nintendo a food service, a love hotel, and a taxi service. As you might have guessed, all those failed. Now one day when Gunpei Yokoi was playing on the job, Hiroshi Yamauchi caught him and ended up promoting him because he was so inspired by the toy that Gunpei Yokoi was fiddling with. This toy was an extendable hand that could extend out and grab things that Yokoi had built in his spare time. Yamauchi was so inspired by this, he wanted over 1 million to be made before the holiday rush. He named this object the Ultra Hand. After this, Yamauchi decided that Nintendo should make toys, and he promoted Yokoi into making toys like the 10 million barrel, the Love Tester, and the Ultra Machine. Nintendo saw the rising popularity of video games and decided to try it out. Yamauchi again promoted Gunpei Yokoi into making games. He made a group called Research and Development 1. He did many things in this group, such as making the D-pad. He thought of no fall damage from Mario after the Donkey Kong. He made bad games into good games. He helped get rid of the video game flop. He also used a technique called lateral thinking with wither technology. Explain on that more later. But one day on a bullet train to work, Yokoi saw something so awesome that no one else could see it. He saw a bored businessman playing with a calculator. Now this simple sight sparked unimaginable things that Yokoi only saw. He saw a handheld video game system with LCD lights as sprites / characters, and just 2 buttons to make them move. Thus, the Game & Watch was born. The first Game & Watch was Ball, and the last was Mario the Juggler, both of which are juggling games and has 2 buttons for movement that will move the hands in order to have the hands catch the ball and throw it back up. The most popular was Donkey Kong, since Donkey Kong was so popular in the arcade world. Yokoi wanted to make it into a Game & Watch, so thus the Donkey Kong was born, and it featured the first D-pad. Nowadays, every console on planet Earth has a D-pad. You know, that up, down, left, right button that just looks like a plus sign. Yeah, Yokoi personally designed that for himself, for Donkey Kong. Why LCD lights, and why did it work? Yokoi thought this thoroughly, and with his strategy, lateral thinking with withered technology, he used lateral thinking with withered technology. LCD lights was withered technology. And using his lateral thinking, he made this game 1 fun and 2 cheap. And surprisingly, it worked. After the Game & Watch's success, he went on to making more, and after that, NES games. He made games like Duck Hunt and Kid Icarus, and he even helped make Mario. He also used the NES cartridges for the Game Boy. So if you had Game Boy games, you had NES games. If you had NES games, you had Game Boy games. And the Game Boy timeline wasn't short either. The first of which was the boxy handheld with 4 different shades of green for color, and it came out in 1989. Next was the Game Boy Pocket in 1996. It was smaller, took less batteries, better processor, and so on. The Game Boy Light had backlight, it was the same size as the first Game Boy, and it was made in 1998. In 1998 again came out the Game Boy Color. Now this, the quiz specifically said that if the Game Boy by now didn't have color, no one would want it. So luckily it did, or else we would all be doomed. Next was the Game Boy Advance in 2001. There was no backlight, sadly, but it did look like a mini Nintendo Switch Lite, so. Then there's the Game Boy Advance SP. It had rechargeable batteries, a flip screen, and another spark for the DS. This came out in 2003, and next was the Game Boy Micro, the last in the Game Boy line. It was small, it was the smallest, and it came out in 2005. The Game Boy line was officially discontinued in 2010 when some DSs were already made. Now, you may think that Gunpei Yokoi was immortal because he was a video game legend, but one of his creations failed, believe it or not. It was the Virtual Boy. It was not portable, it only showed red and black color, and it gave some people headaches. After this, Yokoi left Nintendo and started his own business, Koto Laboratory. Thankfully, Nintendo said, "It is reality that Mr. Yokoi has indeed left, but it has absolutely nothing to do with the failure of Virtual Boy. There's no doubt that the Virtual Boy was a failure, but for the head of the company himself has said that the blame for that rests on the decision to sell it to begin with. The D-pad and the Game Boy that Mr. Yokoi developed are incredible. Such a man taking the blame for the 32-bit device and leaving the company is completely made up." Quote, Nintendo. A while after he left, he tragically tail-ended a car with his friend. They both went out to apologize, but a car slammed into both cars, injuring his friend and sadly killing Yokoi. He died on October 4th, 1997. He will always be remembered for what he did for games, from the Ultra Hand to the Game Boy. Thank you, Yokoi.